Losers manufacture all the imaginary reasons why the world is against them. And then that gives them an excuse to lash out towards other people, but primarily to themselves. Everybody who has self-destructive tendencies, who engages in self-harm, manufactures a narrative that the world is against them. And so they create and they confabulate this dream. They're lulling themselves into this bad mood because they've realized that people comport their behavior differently when they're in a bad mood. People ask them if they're okay, cater to their whims. You know, they try to squeeze as much juice out of being grumpy as possible because they've realized that people change their behavior around them when they're in a bad mood. And like I said, it's an avoidance measure. Motherfucker will spend the entire morning having a bad day because he wants to avoid taking that step that he knows he needs to take. Knows he needs to get his ass into the gym. Knows there's a business lever he needs to pull. Knows there's a massive action step that he just doesn't fucking want to take. So the bad mood is a fail-safe from taking action. And then you're just in self-pity and the cycle repeats itself. It's a vicious cycle. Have you ever noticed that when you are in a genuine crisis or you are in genuine pain, not manufactured pain, but something's genuinely aggravated you or disturbed your consciousness, or you're just going through a hard time, have you ever noticed that you don't want any attention when you're in those states? You want to be left the fuck alone to sort out your bullshit in private when it's a genuine thing. That's why I've always said, if you've noticed, men are like 100 times more alpha when they have like a mild ailment or like a mild injury or even like a psychic or like emotional injury. Dudes get way more alpha because the attention seeking stops. When you're sick as a dog, and let's say you're overcome with the flu or you got a fucking nasty cold, you got that you're fucking congested, your voice is raspy, you're all fucked up. You don't want anyone near you. You don't want a chick to fucking hug you. You don't want kisses. You don't want any fucking attention. You just want to curl up in a fucking ball in your fucking bed and just get better because it's between you and God at that point. And you're just basically, when you're in a fucked up state, you're just begging God for mercy. You don't want to fucking analyze or talk about your issues. You know, when you get out of a surgery or you've ever had a very traumatic physical injury, you didn't want a bunch of motherfuckers around. You want to be left the fuck alone because in those moments of great strife and agony and anguish and torment, that's when men really come to God. There's the spiritual revelations come in the privacy, in the sanctity of those moments. So you really have to ask yourself how you're manipulating your environment, but more importantly, how you're outsmarting yourself with these bad moods. Because a lot of the shit that you're contriving and kicking up that dust, like I said, it's a very roundabout way from avoiding what it is that you need to do to make the next step. Because once you take that next step, it's incredible how fast a motherfucker will snap out of a bad mood. Like it's night and day. Like you can change that shit on a fucking dime. But most people just want to milk it because they feel powerless. And they feel powerless over themselves. And more importantly, they feel powerless over their own domain. They don't have dominion over their life. So the last bastion, the last resort is to just start being a fucking grumpy piece of shit. Praying, hoping someone else is going to fucking handle your affairs for you. That's what it really comes down to. Because like I just illustrated, when men are genuinely in agony, there's 0% chance they want to sit in a therapist's office and discuss it. And there's 0% chance that they want to draw massive amounts of attention. I've been fucking deathly ill with fucking horrific flus and shit. And I just wanted to sit still in fucking quiet darkness and be left the motherfucker alone. I didn't want love. I didn't want kisses, no hugs, nothing, no sympathy. Sympathy feeds the fucking weak, man. Sympathy is for weak motherfuckers. If you find yourself wanting to garner sympathy for anything that you're going through, you are on a slippery fucking slope, my friend. Because you're just cashing in fake currency for fake currency. That's what you're doing. And you're not getting anywhere. You're just spinning your wheels and there's no progress. It's a fucking cul-de-sac. It's a fucking dead end. It's a dead end. Everyone knows when they're in a situation they don't want to be in. Everyone knows what the next right move is. Because every man is born with a natural destiny. Every man is born and endowed and anointed with a natural fate. And no one can convince me otherwise that people are oblivious or clueless to what their purpose is in life. That's fucking nonsense. Every man knows what they're destined to become. Every man knows what they're destined to become, and you can either try to interfere with that fate or you can aid and abet that fate by just taking heroic action and understanding that your feelings and emotions truly, at the end of the day, they truly don't mean a fucking thing. They just don't. How many times have I told you guys that feeling good is not a prerequisite to success whatsoever? There's motherfuckers accomplishing more before 6 o'clock in the morning than you'll accomplish all week. And they're in wretched condition. They don't feel good. They're just doing it anyway. And that's my whole fucking, I gore people's oxes on the steroid thing and the supplement thing, because what these are fucking, they're surrogate ways of just trying to feel better. But show me someone who feels better, who orchestrates their life and optimizes their life around feeling good, who's truly a fucking winner. Because feeling good ain't the game for men. You can leave feeling good for children and women. If you got a small fucking child at home, yes, it's your job to make sure that a small baby feels good. Babies deserve to be happy. Babies deserve to have the fucking gushy good feelings at all times. But men are designed by nature to absorb damage. Who the fuck's gonna do it? Who's gonna do it if you're not gonna do it? Who's gonna absorb the grotesqueries of life? Who's gonna inject themselves right into the fire to push the boundaries of what's possible? Men are gonna fucking do it. And that requires a sacrifice of your fucking feelings. You have to sacrifice your feelings on the altar to make things happen, to shuffle shit around, to make things work, to ascend, to get to the next level. Your feelings don't mean jack shit. They're all fuel. That's all it is. You're shoveling any emotion that you have should be utilized to shovel coal into the furnace. That's all it is. So all emotions are equal. You're blessed to feel anything at all. If you are a depressed motherfucker, guess what? You're feeling something. And that's ammunition. That's something to respond against. It's apathy that really destroys your life. It's when you feel nothing at all and you're numb. That's when shit starts to get spooky. But if you're depressed or you're anxious or you're uneasy or uncomfortable, good. That's emotion. That's hostility. That's animosity. When you're first starting out and you don't have any power and no one knows who the fuck your name is or who the fuck you are, you have to use the body that you're given. You have to use the cocktail of emotions that you have to propel yourself. What the fuck else are you going to do if no one knows who you are? You got to use that shit as fucking 91 octane. So it doesn't matter what you're feeling. If you're feeling anything at all and you got a pulse, then you just take action with it. It's very, very fucking simple. But most people are just hell-bent on fucking outsmarting themselves. Everyone wants to fucking trick themselves and self-deceive and play these little fucking mind games with themselves and work themselves up into these states that are mostly fucking theatrical. Bad moods are mostly fucking theatrics. And you have to be aware when you're doing it to yourself so you can snap out of it. You know, it's cool to indulge a little bit of pain here and there. If you're going through a fucking tough time, sure, man, take 30 fucking minutes. Take a fucking breather. Beat yourself up if you have to. That's fine. But you don't have permission to sit there all fucking day lamenting over your life. That's fucking chicken shit. You know, you give yourself a brief moment in time to experience it, and then you got to move the fuck on. And I just see.
We're going. The fact that you got.
What you missed in Seattle on the Citizen app. On Seward.
Matters so much more than you. So much fucking more. I don't give a fuck what the mission is, man. I don't give a fuck if it's epic. I don't give a fuck if it's heroic. I don't care what it is. If you have any kind of mission at all, it's so much fucking bigger than you. Your feelings, your petty proclivities, your opinions, your judgments, it's all fucking bullshit, man. Like, as a man, you're designed to sacrifice it all. You accumulate strength and you accumulate honor and you accumulate intellect and wit, all these fucking skills, just to sacrifice them for your mission. That's what it's all for. I mean, you are a weapon that is formed specifically. Your entire life should be tailored and optimized and retrofitted towards attacking whatever your mission is. And if you truly are doing that and you're forming yourself into a spear that's thrusting itself forward, no matter what kind of fucking vicissitudes are coming your way, then there's no time for self-analysis. There's no time to pick yourself apart. There's no time to sit in self-pity and wonder, woe is me. Because you're laying it all on the line for the benefit of the mission. And you know what the fucking mission is. I don't believe any motherfucker who tells me they don't know what they're here to do. Because everybody's a founder, everybody's a creator, and a lot of people are just sitting around interfering with their fate. A lot of people just don't understand that a lot of the recurring challenges that you face on a daily basis. You know, if you find yourself constantly dealing with the same issues that you haven't been able to overcome, that's fate. That's the guiding hand of fate pushing you into situations that you have to lean into. And most people are just so recalcitrant. They're so inept that they just are constantly resisting like who they really are. They're constantly pretending and forgetting and wanting to be somebody that they're truly not. Because every man, like if you're in touch with yourself, even fucking 5%, you know you're guided in a certain direction. It's like there's like a natural divinity, like this like almost like kingly duty that guides men and throws them forward into this sort of chaotic rubble. But like you kind of know you're being pushed in a certain direction. And so once you can embrace that the mission is so much more powerful than you, it doesn't really matter what happens to you anymore. It doesn't matter. You're going to get clipped. You're going to get your heart broken. You're going to be saturated in emotions that are nasty. But it doesn't fucking matter because the whole purpose of your being is to fulminate and culminate your destiny. It's to meet that destiny, whatever the fuck it is. Not everybody has a grand heroic destiny. And that's fine. But as long as you're being guided in the direction that you're naturally supposed to go in, man, you can take on so much fucking more than you could possibly imagine. Like your wildest imagination can't comprehend the kind of fucking stress tolerance and the kind of shit that you can actually fucking handle when you're dedicated to simply just bringing that process to fruition. So fucking simple.